Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Bryan Casella here again. Wanted to make this video because I feel this is a very important topic. I'm finding and I'm seeing as I keep digging that in fact it's true that there has been a lot of small nuggets being fed to people and conditioning happening for a long time in order to push this agenda that pedophilia, right? Being a pedophile is not a crime, it's a mental disorder. Bullshit, 100% it's a crime, 100%. Crimes against children are the most heinous and worst crimes, I believe, and I'm sure many of you would agree, and if you agree, leave a comment. That's the biggest bullshit on this planet, right? When I find out that a kid was molested, a kid was hurt, a kid was shot, a kid was killed, any of the above, right? All of them included or any of them, I genuinely feel really bad, right? And believe me, in the last couple of years, have heard a lot of stories from people close to me and not so close to me that their grandfather, their uncle, or somebody was violating kids and their family, and it's just disgusting, okay? Before I continue, something I believe was passed in 2016, a bill, right? Off the top of my head, I'm forgetting the number, but I want to discuss this because it's very relevant, and if I can, after I upload the video, and I do find it and I dig through, I'll post it in the comment section and in the description for you. I believe it was in 2016, something was passed. Not sure if it was passed or not, but it would, in essence, if a minor, right, a child, a kid, a teenager under the age of 18 was caught prostituting themselves or doing something along those lines, they would not be arrested anymore. They would automatically be handed over to child services, child protection services, I believe, which would then push them into foster homes, right? Now, if you're not aware, they're highly involved with child trafficking and things of that nature, and they target those types of kids specifically because they're not watched very well. Some of them aren't very mentally stable, and they come from obviously broken homes or no home in this case, okay? If you're not aware, the border is responsible, right? The border between the United States and Mexico for about 80% of human trafficking, which is why Trump has been pushing so hard to get the border in check or doing his best. So 80%, that's insane, okay? And this is still, by a lot of people, being deemed as not important. 800,000 children just in the USA alone go missing every fucking year. That is ridiculous. And they're bought and sold, right? I remember, if you haven't seen it, right? We see these references in movies all the time. Role models with Paul Rudd, Seann William Scott. When they're around the campfire, Paul Rudd tells a story. Mind you, this movie is from 2007 or 8. He says, here's a scary story. Every day, right? Children, just like you, are bought and sold in underground sex trafficking, right? And it's a joke, and then they end it, and they stop the story time. But it's even said in movies. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. You've been seeing a lot of stuff being shared lately. This is 100% real. And the fact that they're trying to say that this is a mental disorder and not a crime, yeah, maybe some of those people do have a mental disorder. However, it's still a fucking crime. It's not either or. At the bare minimum, it's both. And they should be punished to the full extent of the law. I'm 100% in agreement with that. Why is it okay for them to put pictures of underage children, have them modeling, right, and doing all this heinous shit? It's disgusting, and we need to do something about it. We have to do something about it. I'm so happy that President Trump has put so many things in place and so many measures in place and signed all these executive orders, because this shit has to stop, right? And you watching this, you can start doing some digging. If you're paying attention to it at all, you've been seeing this whole thing with Wayfair, right? And apparently one of the Wayfair headquarters has, different buildings next to it, which has like Rothschilds and other people that, if you're not aware of them, look them up, right? Conveniently located right next to them. I mean, that shit, eventually, it goes beyond coincidence, okay? And if you're not familiar with the Wayfair stuff, look it up. You can find a bunch of accounts sharing it on Instagram, and you see the codes that they put in. Then Wayfair would be selling like a shelf or a couch with that missing child's name in it, right? And then they would sell it for a crazy price, $10,000, $15,000, which when I'm finding out, and again, this now is opinion because I'm not sure, but they were saying that got you the ability to go in these auctions where they auction off children, right? Now this whole thing is like some underground thing. By the way, it's been going on for a long ass time. This isn't something that's been happening for the last 20, 30, 40 years. It's been going on for hundreds of years, probably even thousands, okay? So the main point of this video is this shit is a reality, and you need to educate yourself on it. So when you see so much shit being thrown at Trump, it's because these people are being exposed. Epstein and this other chick, Maxwell, whatever her name was, they were never really punished by the law. aside from a slap on the wrist until he was in office. Okay? So when it comes to this, we need to pump the brakes on whatever they're trying to push in regards to legislation or all these movements and kind of what they're doing and cancel culture and all this shit. Part of what they're going to slide in is this, right? I've seen, and you can find videos of high-ranking people saying, well, pedophilia isn't that big of a deal, and then you see them in different countries as well. I think in the UK they lowered it to where now like as young as like a 12-year-old can have sex, and that's like considered okay, right? If you're from the UK, correct me if I'm wrong, it might be 12, 14, something like that, right? And you're seeing this stuff happen. So they're slowly poisoning cultures and passing laws and legislations to make this shit okay. And now, by the way, they've been preparing you for a long time, right? Take a look at like the pedophilia symbol that's in Disney, right? All the imagery, if you pay attention to certain images in Disney cartoons and movies, you'll see like penises and that kind of stuff. It's been pushed. It's just been subconsciously pushed, not consciously pushed, right? A lot of that stuff bypasses your conscious mind and literally goes into your subconscious mind. And they've been preparing people, and they breed you and they grow you up with this shit. So you become, it becomes normal. They normalize it. That's what they do. And it's been a very thorough process that they've bred in order to cause this to happen. So I believe more and more people are becoming informed. I just wanted to make a video because as I start piecing more stuff together, then I can start linking articles and things of that nature. I just want to lay certain things out and begin speaking about it because, with all my platforms, again, I feel an obligation at this point. We need to do something about it. Crimes against children must be, again, held up here because no one wants to see their brother, their sister, their cousin, or any young person be killed, tortured, abused, sold, molested, and all that shit. That shit is fucking disgusting. And again, I want those people, and I'm sure you do too, to be punished to the full extent of the law because this is absolute bullshit. And the fact that all this is being uncovered is great. However, it's up to us now to push it to more people because other people are looking at this, listening to this, seeing it, and refusing to believe it because it is pretty fucking heinous and it's being done right in our fucking face. But number two, they're not doing anything about it. At least spread it. Do a little bit of digging, right? A lot of people who are posting stuff are linking a bunch of articles and things of that nature for you to start exploring yourself, taking a look at things, all this legislation, right? And all these bills, like the one I mentioned in the beginning here in California, they got pushed in 2016. All that shit happens under our nose. They'll even label it as something else. And then if you actually click and read the description of it, it'll be something along the lines of this. So it's masked or it's wrapped like a present to be something else. And in reality, it's something different. Okay, now I've seen this happen since I'm on the real estate side. I've seen them pass a lot of laws in regards to real estate and taxes and that kind of stuff where they name it something, but the whole agenda behind that bill or thing they're trying to pass is completely different, right? So I've seen this just from a different angle, right? And I can tell you it's happening, right? All this stuff with the riots and all this shit, a lot of that stuff is literally engineered as a distraction from all this stuff, okay? So I urge you. I mean, shit, if you didn't know, the background to the Ellen DeGeneres show was Epstein's Island. Look it up, right? It's all there. This shit has been in everybody's fucking face for such a long time. It's insane. And many of us have missed it, okay? And now when you begin to learn these things and see them, you're gonna start spotting them in movies and things of that nature, right? Why do you think a lot of these celebrities, and their kids are all messed up? They're literally sacrificing their kids or selling their kids literally and allowing them to do these sex changes and all this other shit for no reason beyond that. They've sold themselves and their family for these things, these riches, these fames, or whatever it is that they're doing. And we as a culture worship these fucking people. So again, in closing, we need to wake up to the fact that this shit is happening. Now, it is disgusting and you may feel like you can't do anything about it, and it may make you sick to your stomach when you start seeing some of this shit. It did for me, right? But I would just ask you at the very minimum to, take a look at really what's going on, follow some people, dig a little bit and you'll see. But number two, spread it. A lot of people are gonna talk shit. I get flamed, and I have been for the last 4 or 5 years for talking about this stuff. It's just now, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna put it out, right? And the people who follow and grow, hopefully that becomes the majority and we can start enlightening more people about this because this isn't just some small shit. This is children, millions worldwide. Again, you'll find out they're being sold, they're being harvested, they're being eaten, they're being tortured, they're being sexually abused, adrenochrome, all that stuff. That shit is real. So I urge you, speak up, do something about it. And if you can, enlighten one or two people, then that's what this is about. Okay? BC wrapping up. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.